edition of Football Friday on KDLT.
Nice job by the Yankton cheerleaders.
Well done.
Welcome to another Football Friday on a different day. It's Thursday, and the 11 AAA and AA schools get started with the postseason. I'm Mark Ovender.
And I'm Zach Borg. Tonight's show is brought to you by the Fun Zone at Pizza Ranch on 41st Street, although we have plenty of fun right here on nights like tonight.
Yes, we do, Zach. We start off with the 11 AAA, which was won by Lincoln last year in the first year of 7 classes. The Patriots went through the regular season in 2014 unscathed. And tonight, they tried to keep it that way against the Cobblers of Rapid City Central. That's Braxton Large on the touchdown, 9-yard score. It's 7-0. This is the 4:30 game at Howard Wood today. Isaiah Roach hitting a wide-open Paul Thano, who races 64 yards for the touchdown. Roach had 3 touchdown passes in the first half alone. Watch this nice pick by Kieran Denny. Tips it up, makes the grab himself. That leads to this. Next play, Roach fakes, fires deep. His favorite receiver is Nickel Myers. Nickel scores 19-0. And then it's going to be Large again, who had 3 touchdowns in the first half, 163 yards rushing. That's a 39-yarder as he heads to pay dirt, pay turf, whatever. 47-0 at halftime, 65-7 your final for Lincoln.
The Roosevelt Rough Riders had 2 big losses this year to Lincoln and losing their star QB, Taryn Christian. Tonight they hosted Rapid City Stevens, looking to improve to 8-1. First quarter, Jet Thune turns on the Jets. 14 yards for the touchdown on a very windy night at Howard Wood Field. That makes it 7-0. Watch this punt block. Carter Karstens, he blocks it, and here comes Nathan Durfee for the touchdown. That makes it 14-0. They almost took me out celebrating, but you know what? They earned it. Just before the quarter's in, Thune with the shovel pass to Jake Bear. The Big Bear finds Pater 21-0 after 1. Second quarter, here's a little more conventional touchdown. Thune to our former athlete of the week, Chase Vinatieri, makes a nice move right at the goal line right there to shake off a tackler. No surprise here, it was all Roosevelt. They win by the final of 49-14.
All right, the Brandon Valley Lynx are always a fun team to watch unless you're the opposing defensive coordinator. Tonight's opponent was the Washington Warriors, and what a job they did tonight. Max JENSEN was there for our feature game and has the recap.
Hey guys, well, it's the first round of the playoffs and anything can happen. After a very slow start to this one, things really picked up in the second half. It wasn't high scoring, but man, was it a fun game to watch.
Brandon Valley came out firing and had a touchdown called back because of a penalty. They had to settle for a 27-yard field goal by Tyler Limmer, 3-0 in favor of the Lynx. The Warriors played tough, having to rely on a freshman quarterback, but their defense gave them a huge boost in the second quarter as Jake Como is sacked and fumbles, and Ian Eltz returns it to the house to put the Warriors up 7-3 at halftime. Into the second half, Brandon Valley took the ball into the wind on a 6-minute drive. Riley Franson finishes off the drive with a powerful 4-yard run, and the Lynx offense gets on the board, 10-7 in favor of the home team. The story in this one, though, the Lynx defense. 2 huge goal line stands keeping Washington off the scoreboard. This one stopping Rashid Benton inches out of the end zone. And then Brandon Valley's D gets on the board itself as Seth Benson is strip sacked in the end zone, and Andrew Sorensen recovers for the score. And the Lynx win 17-7.
You know, 2 defensive touchdowns in a game like this, one for them, one for us, and you know, I'm just super proud of those guys right now, especially with some of the criticism and stuff they've taken through the year.
Once again, Brandon Valley wins this one 17-7, securing a second-round matchup with Roosevelt next Friday night. In Brandon, Max JENSEN, KDLT Sports.
Thank you, Max. The 5-3 O'Gorman Knights hosting 4-4 Aberdeen Golden Eagles at the MAC in the 4th and final 11 AAA game of the night. Aberdeen punting in the first quarter. Not really. A.J. Martinez blocks it, and he'll fall on it in the end zone for a touchdown. Everywhere I went, they were blocking punts. Eagles fly down the field on the next drive, though. Jacob Gehring lofts one up to the corner of the end zone. Thomas Kruger, fittingly, the night before Halloween, makes it 7-6, but they missed the they missed the PAT. Hey, no Paul Heinert, but we got Jake Heinert making an interception. I don't know if they're related or not. We'll have to ask Paul tomorrow, but they could not get any points. We go to the second quarter. Watch Fritz shed a tackler, throw it up. This is into the wind, mind you, and he hits Martinez for the touchdown. That makes it 13-6. And then just before the halftime break, Dodie McQuinja will punch it in from about 3 yards out. That made it 20-6. O'Gorman gets the victory, and they are heading to the semifinals.
All right, so your final scores of all the 11 AAA games. O'Gorman wins 34-19. Lincoln over Rapid City Central 65-7. Large had a huge game in that. Roach also with those 3 touchdown passes. Thune ran for 157 yards, accounted for 4 touchdowns while he was in there. And Brandon Valley with a big win, 17-7. Franson, the only offensive touchdown. So here are your matchups on Friday. O'Gorman against Lincoln and Brandon Valley against Roosevelt. Well, it's been quite a season for Arlen Lickness and his unbeaten and top-ranked Yankton Bucks. Tonight, they were back at Crane Youngworth Field, where they lost the first half of their homecoming game, only to win the second half on the road at Aberdeen. Tonight they played the whole game there, and the Bucks look to improve to 9-0 against the Huron Tigers, and they would do that. Parker Cookdale with a nice run right here, 7-0 as he barrels over the tackler. That was a power run there, 7-0.
Speaking of
And
power
Jordan
runs.
Leitner spins off the defender, gets the stiff arm. He's going to go 42 yards. He's still on his feet. They finally drag him down. Then they go to the reverse. Sheldon Gant is going to score on a 15-yard touchdown run. It is 15-0 at that point in favor of the Bucks. They go play action then, go to the air. Mason Stroll throws it to Evan Greenway in the end zone. A 13-yard touchdown that made it 22-0. The defense gets in the act here with a sack, and the Bucks go on to win 43-21.
The Harrisburg Tigers started the season 4-0 and then ran into a rugged second-half schedule tonight. They tried to start a 3-game win streak against Mitchell. Some sloppy play in the first quarter. Kane Kittleson gets stripped. The ball kicks around.
There it is.
Eventually, Spencer Nagabauer will fall on it for Mitchell, but they couldn't get any points out of that, and that's a bad sign when you have to face Jonathan Kabambi. He Kabambis his way into the end zone on a 5-yard run at 6-0. How about some more Kabambi? Look at the burst of speed, almost untouched in the end zone. That makes it 14-0 on the 38-yard touchdown run. Mitchell would put a drive together a little bit later to try and get back in this thing. Kanan Nelson with the pass. Awesome catch by Nagabauer.
Great catch.
And he's going to turn on the Jets, shed a tackler, and go 55 yards. That makes it 14-6. But that's as close as Mitchell could get. This was all Harrisburg. Chase Slaughter with a deep ball to Devin Tilgis. That'll set up a touchdown as Harrisburg goes on to get the victory by a final of 33-6.
Mikey Daniel and his 6-2 Brookings Bobcats hosting Watertown on another first-round 11 AA game tonight. Gerald Maxwell, one of the great running backs they've got. It's not a Mikey Daniel team. They got a lot of guys that can score. That made it 7-0, but Daniel's pretty good too. Watch number 2 as he cuts to the inside, and he is off to the races for a touchdown. He had 2 of those tonight. It's 14-0 in favor of Brookings. Michael Daniel again is going to cut back left around the edge and dives past the defenders. That makes it 21-0 in favor of the Bobcats. Nate Davis is going to break right and find Matt Decker wide open for the touchdown as Watertown gets on the board before halftime, but Brookings goes on to win 34-13.
The defending 11 AA champs from Pierre paid a visit to Douglas tonight. Douglas has had a great season. Pierre was up 13-0 though when Skylar Grimm goes for a 15-yard touchdown run. Douglas within 6. It's 13-7. Under 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Gov's going for it on 4th and 9. You got to like the gambling on the road. And it pays off. Brevin Kaiser to Nick Gusso for the touchdown. Pierre, as he shakes his man, will go up 20-7. But Douglas, the Patriots come back. Colton Hitchshoe will scramble 26 yards for the touchdown as the Patriots grab a 21-20 lead. The home team looking like they're going to survive the upset attempt.
Nope, they're not.
But not on this day. Kaiser was on a roll. He hits Gusso again. Gusso will get pushed into the end zone by his teammates. Go!
Oh!
And they would go on to win by a final of 50-28.
Yankton beats Huron again. You saw the highlight. We had highlights of all 8 of the games tonight. Brookings wins behind Mike Daniel. Harrisburg, Jonathan Kabambi, 27 carries, 229 yards, and 3 touchdowns. So here's your matchups in the semifinals next Friday. Harrisburg at Yankton and Pierre at Brookings. And that's it for this edition of Football Friday. I got more sports right after this.